I got out the sedan and started for La Jolla. I was terribly nervous and depressed. I crept along at no more than 40 miles an hour, but somehow I got there. They showed me directly to Frank's room. He was all covered with bandages, but he was sitting up in bed. And with him was Mr. Sparks.
Hello, Jean.
Frank,
not too bad.
Oh, darling.
A couple of ribs and an arm. They thought I had a fractured skull for a while, but I guess I have a pretty hard head.
Well, what happened?
Well, something went wrong with the car, Jean. I was going pretty fast. I'm lucky to be alive, I guess.
Charles. Prescott. Frank, I saw a man prowling around the garage last night. Olson saw him, too.
You think Prescott might have tampered with the car?
Oh, Frank, I told you not to go through with this thing.
Well, I don't know. What do you think of that theory, Mr. Sparks? Oh, you remember Mr. Sparks, don't you, Jean?
Of course.
It couldn't have been Prescott, Mr. Nicholson. He never got into the garage. I was right behind him, and guess maybe he heard me. Anyway, he beat it.
I understand you were in the garage last night, Jean. Isn't that correct, Mr. Sparks?
We had another man posted on the grounds. That's what he reports.
Well, of course I was. There was a book in the car that I wanted.
There was $1,000 in currency in the glove compartment, too.
Yes, I know. I didn't have time to tell you this morning, but he wanted money. I talked him out of it. Mr. Sparks knew he was at the house. You told me to see him if he... Frank, you don't think that
I don't want to think so, Jean.
Oh, how could you? How could you?
Well, it's just that steering knuckles don't usually come loose by themselves. That and all the rest of it.
Well, then it must have been an accident, a real accident. Don't you see that? Oh, Frank, how could you believe that I'd do a thing like that? I love you.
Oh, I know. I've thought and thought and thought. Everything Mr. Sparks has told me, and Oh, I can't believe it, Jean.
Mr. Sparks, you don't think I could have done anything like that. You can't.
It's just a matter of your beliefs, I guess.
Beliefs?
What you want to believe, and who you want to believe in. My office will send you a bill, Mr. Nicholson. Good day.
Oh, Frank. Frank, darling.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jean. I'm horribly sorry, darling. It's just that, well, it looks so bad, and... Oh, I wanted so much to hear you say you didn't.
Oh, I didn't. I didn't. You know I didn't.
Of course I do. Oh, look, darling, look. Cheer up. I've got a plan.
A plan?
Yes. We need a vacation. I'll be out of here in a week or so, and then we'll go away. We'll just drive around the country, do a little hunting and fishing, whatever we like. You always used to love those trips.
Oh, yes, Frank. Let's.
Sure. We'll just go off and take it easy for a while and forget the whole thing.
Yes, let's. And forget the whole thing. That's what we did. And I almost did forget the whole thing. It seemed like a nightmare that I dreamed a long, long time ago. I couldn't believe that I'd really done what I'd done. And I knew I'd never do it again. As though by mutual consent we never spoke another word about it. But I was at peace for the first time since I could remember. And I knew that even Charlie could be dealt with somehow when we got home. We drove all over the state for almost 3 weeks. And on the way back, we stopped over at a little lake in the Sierras. One day we rode across it and had a picnic lunch on the other side. Oh, it was beautiful and so peaceful. There wasn't another soul around for miles. Frank still had the cast on his left arm. It made him a little clumsy. Getting back into the boat again, he stumbled over the shotgun, tilted up against the seat. I knew he was dead even before I got to him. At police headquarters, they questioned me a little while, and then they left me in the room alone. But a few minutes later, the door opened and somebody came in. It was Mr. Sparks.
Well, so you finally did it.
Oh, no. No.
The trouble with you amateurs is you don't know your case histories. That hunting accident gag is too old, Mrs. Nicholson. Much too old.
But I didn't. I swear. I swear to you I didn't.
Well, you got the money now anyway. At least you can hire yourself a flock of good lawyers.
Oh, please don't. I can't bear it. I didn't do it, I tell you. You can ask Charlie Prescott.
Charles Prescott killed himself this morning when the police arrived to question him. Look, Mrs. Nicholson, I'm in this thing up to my neck, unfortunately. I'm going to have to tell what I know. And I know somebody tampered with the steer knuckle on that car. And it wasn't Prescott. I know you tried to kill your husband and put it on Prescott. It just doesn't add up any other way.
All right. Yes, I did. But I didn't do the other. You've got to believe me. I didn't.
You didn't shoot him, eh?
By all that's sacred in the world. I swear I didn't.
Could be.
You do believe me. Say that you believe me.
What's the difference? Nobody else will.
That's all. Except my execution will be on the 31st, 1 week from today.
Suspense! Susan, we think you were wonderful.
Well, it was a wonderful part, Ken.
For your grand performance, Susan, here's a gift basket of Roma wines with Roma's compliments.
Well, thank you very much. Ken, will you grant me one tiny little favor?
Why, certainly. Just name it.
I'm simply fascinated by the way your narrator says suspense. Ask him to say it again, huh? Just for me.
For you, Susan, he'd probably say it in Technicolor. Joe?
Suspense!
And we're looking forward to seeing you in the Walter Wanger production, Smash Up.
Thanks, Ken. Good night, everybody.